Good evening. It is another wonderful Friday evening. Thank God it's Friday. Today happens to be the 4th day of September 2020. And it is Tell Me About It. Tell Me About It with Esi K. It's live on Peny Radio and PenyGH. We're live.
You live on Peny Radio, your number one online Christian radio station. Peny Radio, hope for the hopeless.
Alright, so today we want to keep it nice and slow, okay? We want to keep it very simple. Wherever you're joining us, if you're watching on YouTube, kindly share the video for someone to join. If you're doing the listening on radio, call someone, call a friend, call a brother, call a sister. Tell them that we are live on Peny Radio and the PenyGH. Alright, so Esi is here in the studios. Esi is ready, and I'm ready. I don't know about you. Why are you shaking your head? Are you not ready?
Who is ever ready?
Alright, so it is Tell Me About It with Esi K, and today we talking about so many things, all in one, just for you. Okay, so get your questions ready. If you have any question, get it ready. If you have any contributions, get it ready. If you're doing the listening on radio, you can share with us on 0543-829571. Okay, if you're doing the watching on YouTube, you can as well share with us in the comment section. So it's a good evening and welcome.
Good evening and thank you.
How are you doing today?
I guess I'm okay as always.
All right, so she's guessing. I think she likes the guess game. All right, so I'm also guessing. I guess today we're talking about so many things.
Yeah, too many of them. I can't seem to wrap my head around what we are going to talk about.
All right, so will you hint us about one? Just one, not many. One.
Well, we like our theme. We talk about everything and nothing. So whatever we are going to talk about today may be like everything. At the same time, it may be like nothing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's part of our daily lives, what we go through, when our feelings, our emotions, and then how we relate to them. I think we are talking about pressure.
All right.
Pressure.
Okay, so we're talking about pressure. So if you're doing the watching and you're doing the listening, you know what we're talking about this evening. Pressure. We're talking about pressure right here on Tell Me About It with Esi K. And you know how we do it in the studios. We run the program with you. We have you in mind and we have you at heart. So wherever you are, contribute to the program, okay? Alright, so Esi, I today I don't want to do much of the talking.
It looks like today we'll both do much of the talking because it's like as usual. It's going to be a conversation or So
Sure.
We are not talking about pressure only. We are going to talk about social anxiety and pressure and how they correlate or kind of something like that. So before we start, are you being pressured lately, Dominic? Like, do you feel pressured about something?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, a lot. I'm being pressured about a lot of things. Okay, Talking about work. Yeah, I'm getting scared because in some few months to come, I'm going to resume full-time work, and I'm scared about my programs.
Oh.
And I'm so. It's giving me headache.
And just like you are scared about work, there are some people out there who are done with their national service and they are like after NSS, like what next? Mm-hmm. So you realize that we have work pressure and then school pressure. Like those who are done with the BC and then the WASI, the BC would be on the 18th. So those who are done with the WASI would also be asking what next after like WASI. Mm-hmm. And then those who are in school right now, they don't even know, like looking at the whole COVID and then the whole virus thing. The pressure is so much everywhere. I can't really wrap my hands around it. But so, how do you deal with the kind of pressure? Like when you're under so much pressure, how do you deal with it?
It depends. It depends on where I find myself and the time. Okay, that sometimes when it starts with thoughts. Okay, sure. When the thoughts start coming,
the mental,
I need to quickly switch as soon as possible to something positive.
Okay.
To something very, very positive. And some of those positive things positive music. That is why every day, at first I used to tune into some Christian radios, but when Peny Radio started, every day
you get to listen to the kind of music you want to go.
Yeah. So I switched to that. I don't do more movies. Because there are some of the movies
that would probably
it will add up to it. So when I start with thoughts, I quickly switch. So that's how I deal with mine.
Cool. But speaking of movies, do you watch movies based on the mood or the kind of pressure you are in? Like, how do you select the movies or the kind of music you listen to? Is it based on the pressure or the mood you find yourself in?
Yeah, mostly the pressure will bring the mood. And so I'll say both. And we're talking about movies. Mostly I do watch recommended movies.
Oh, okay.
I do watch recommended movies.
Oh,
the people I work with, they know how I flow. So they'll recommend movies based on how I flow with them.
Okay.
So mostly it's about recommendations.
Wow.
I don't see title of movie and fall for it.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't. I'm never moved by titles of movies.
Not even the synopsis or anything.
If it's recommended, or if I get the chance to watch the trailer and it
attracts you.
Yeah. Else, no. Titles are never. No, they don't. All right, so we're still here. Tell me about it with Esi K. And today she switched it up on me. Lots of questions. I think I'm ready because Alex is here to give me vibes, and Yurik is here to also give me vibes. So let the questions flow. All right, so that is how we do it. If you have any question, you can as well send it. Okay, you can share with us on YouTube in the comment section or on WhatsApp 0543295571. All right. All right, so let's roll.
Sure. So since we are going to talk about both pressure and social anxiety, why not define social anxiety?
Okay.
So social anxiety is when a person feels extremely afraid of being judged by others. But when we put it this simply, it would be like usually sometimes or most of us, me in person, we all have the fear of being judged by our colleagues or our friends. That is what brings like sometimes the pressure. So like if you are before I continue, do you think peer pressure continues even when you're done with school?
Yes, it does. A lot.
Why do you think so?
It never ends. Because if you move out of school, and even those your peers you were in school, those your friends, you even leave them. You go to another world and meet other peers.
Okay.
And since this word called competition is still there, it never stops.
So it's more like peer pressure is like a continuous thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. I totally agree, because the peer pressure or the pressure we get from the outside world really sometimes like puts so much pressure on us, and then we end up having to do things or feeling so anxious about it. So it's more like social anxiety is like the mother body, and then the baby is the pressure. Okay. I think I heard this from Alex. So yeah.
Yeah, I told you, Alex is full of everything. So once you seated, if you do not take care, he will influence you. So I always give him gap. That is why I'm pushing him. Yeah. All right. So if you just have any question, if you have any question that you want us to deal with, you can share with us. Okay. If you're watching on YouTube, share with us in the comment section. Okay. If you're doing the listening on radio, it is tell me about it. Better tell us before we do. Okay. All right. Is there anything more you
also, when you are self-conscious in your everyday situations, or when you try to avoid meeting new people, it could be a sign that you have social anxiety. This is because when you're meeting new people, like there could be this small thing, okay, fine, but then when you are not able to meet the new people, or you're not able to go out because of the fear of being judged by others, then you should know that you're having the social anxiety disorder, and then you'd have to probably look for ways to treat it. Because there's this book written by Vanessa Van Edwards, she Captivate, And then she talks about how humans feel and how humans relate with others. So you can try reading the book. But then she defines social anxiety as the fear of interaction with other people, which brings self-consciousness. So because you're supposed to interact with people, you become so conscious of yourself, you don't know, or you start thinking of what to say and what not to say and all that. And at the end of the day, probably the communication or what you're supposed to give to the other person does not reach because of the social anxiety you feel. And then if you do not know of social anxiety, there are some signs and symptoms for you to know that you are probably having social anxiety. And then the first one we'll talk about is speaking in front of people or groups. So when you find it difficult to speak in front of people, either during a school work or a group work or presentation or whatever it is, it may be a sign that you're suffering from social anxiety, because you have this fear you're going to be judged by your group members. You have this fear you're going to be judged by other people or the kind of people around. So when that happens, you realize that you're not able to present or speak in front of like the people. So when you're called upon to do something and you realize that you're backing out every now and then because of the fear, because of the pressure you put on yourself, then it's a sign you are having social anxiety. But then according to the mental health organization, or what is it called, mental health information center, you can have it can be said that it becomes a disorder. Yes, it becomes a disorder. Social anxiety becomes a disorder when it has been going on for like so many times, like 6 months and above. So probably there's instances when I'm supposed to present something, and then I feel so anxious and then nervous, and I'm not able to present that one time, and then another time I'm able to do it. It doesn't mean that I have the disorder or I have a disorder of social anxiety. Probably it was the instance and then circumstances around it. But then if I'm called upon any time to present or do something in front of people or in groups, and I find myself wanting and not being all like having nervous attacks, panic disorder almost every now and then for like 6 months, then I may be suffering from social anxiety, because I'm having the thoughts and then the idea, what if I go out there and then they're going to judge me? What if I go and then it doesn't go well? What if it fails? What if like the ifs becomes the like turning point? I'm thinking for the people who may not even be conscious of my presence. So because of the thoughts that people will judge me based on what I do, I back out, and then it continues and continues and continues, and then social anxiety. It becomes a disorder. The SAD is like social anxiety disorder, SAD.
Okay.
So yes, so the SAD
Okay. Wow. and I think I want to believe all these is as a result of pressure, peer pressure, and what people, just as you said, what people say about us.
Yes.
So it means if you do not care so much about what people will say, you are a bit free.
Exactly. But everything has an advantage and disadvantage. Because of probably the care I would have for what someone would think about me, I may have to I may act right. But if I don't really care about what others would do or say about me, I may do something which may offend another person. But then the care shouldn't be to the extent that it affects my daily life and I'm not able to do like basic 1 or 2 things. Okay. So social anxiety, I can't say is good. Anxiety itself can help you be in check.
Okay.
But then for you to say that having social anxiety is like a disorder is not good. It's not, because I've been anxious. I remember the first time I was asked to like read, I was so anxious. I felt dizzy. I had all these symptoms like a panic disorder. I thought I was going to die. When you have this panic disorder, you think you are dying instantly. With that one, first time it goes and then and sometimes the way people relate with you after these instances of this social anxiety can make it or can turn it into a disorder. Because I had people to tell me, oh, it's okay, it's normal and all that. But if I had people to like criticize me, I could have pushed back. So everything about us humans is how we relate with others, and then we end up thinking of what others would do and then not do. So basically that's a symptom. But we have another symptom which is dizziness. So when like this is to describe like a range of emotions such as feeling faint, weak, or unsteady. So for instance, you can get when you're called to work by your boss. You drafted this nice presentation, and then you need to get the gig at the office, and then your colleagues, oh, she was the one who did it, and then you just end up going, and then you're not able to even talk or say anything about your own projects you drafted and all that. And it's not the first time, it goes on and on. Then you should realize that you have like this disorder.
Okay.
Because you're supposed to at least defend your own projects or something you've done yourself. But if you're not able to defend your own projects or something you've done, then you should really check it out.
All right. So I have a question here for you. And this is coming from Derek Edu. Derek is asking, so Esi, do you have social anxiety?
At this moment as I'm speaking, I don't have social anxiety, but I have a previous experience of social anxiety.
All right. Okay, so Derek, that is it. So someone is also asking, I think Alex is asking, wait, what is it with anxiety and nervousness? So I think Alex wants to know.
Okay, so when we take nervousness, I can be nervous before a program.
Okay.
Let's say I'm a speaker of this particular program. I'm supposed to be the MC of this program, or I'm supposed to go and do something. I can be nervous before the program, and then like it's normal because you have to. Even the first day I did the show, I was so nervous. I was like, oh my god! Before you do anything for the first time, or before you do something, you feel so nervous. That is like a normal thing. Yeah. But then if you feel nervous continuously to the extent that you're unable to pull out what you were supposed to do, that is when you realize that it has moved to like social anxiety. Because social anxiety is when you are so conscious of your surroundings, you're unable to do your everyday activities or things like that. So if I'm a theater person, or I'm into theater and then I do this drama and all that, and I'm not able to go on stage because I can be nervous because I'm going on stage to perform. Yeah. But if I'm not able to go on stage and then perform because of the nervousness I'm feeling, and because of the fact that I'm thinking of what others would say about me, if I'm going to act well, if I'm going to be criticized, if I'm going to be reviewed, like a whole lot. If I have this lots of thoughts and notions and I'm not able to like pull it off and do it, that is when you realize that like it has turned into like from anxiety, from pressure, from whatever it is to like a disorder, a social anxiety disorder. The social being added is like the social is that we are social beings. So when you make a decision or when you think of something and you're unable to pull off because of society and because of what others, not yourself, think about you, that is when you have the social.
Peny Radio.
All right, so you heard it all. So I think the whole thing is centered around people. Okay, what people are saying is someone watching, is someone. Oh, okay, and then with what you're saying, what I'm picking is that if it continues, then it becomes the disorder.
The disorder, yes.
But when it's someone of something,
we cannot have anxiety. I can be anxious as I'm sitting here. Like you can be anxious and all that, but when I'm anxious, like because of my anxiousness, I couldn't pull out this show for like 2 months, 3 months because I'm so anxious. Then I realized, okay, then this is it because I'm anxious about what others will think about me when I come here and then all that. So that is what it becomes.
All right, so I think you're following and you getting where we started from and where we're going. Okay, I think there is some way a build up to what we did last week, and it speaks a lot to all of us because this thing cuts across. It doesn't really matter who you are. Once you think about people, once you are concerned about people, you have to really consider some of these things. Okay, so I think Priscilla is saying, so it all starts from the state of nervousness. I think she's asking. Yeah, she's asking.
I can say it starts from the state of like the mind. You know, our mind is actually powerful. Before you get nervous, you're probably thinking of something that creates the nervousness. Okay. And then so you can actually say it starts from nervousness, but then it starts from the mind because the nervousness you feeling or the numbness you feeling in your body was created by a thought you had in your mind.
Yeah.
So I was probably going to do a presentation, right? I'm using presentations a lot.
All right.
So I was going to do a presentation, and then I just get there. But before I'm even called to do the presentation, I've thought, what are they going to say? What if I don't do it right? I've thought, and it has caused me to feel nervous. So I don't know how. So I'm feeling numb, shaking, headache, all of a sudden sweating, and then all these symptoms of like social anxiety. Then you realize that it's your thought that has led to the nervousness, and then now you are not able to pull out something.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right. No wonder they say sin starts from the thoughts. All right. So Priscilla, you heard that. So it starts with the thinking, and then a push to being nervous. Okay, and I think it's centered around what people will say. What are they thinking about me? And most importantly, I think is this thing will be so severe in people who want to attain perfection.
Yes,
So
like as we talked about in our previous episodes.
Yeah.
Like, we all have ways. There are some people who are perfectionists by nature or by their what's the name? Personality type. Yeah. So by their personality, they are perfectionists. So they want to hit it, and then because of the way they want to hit it. And I think it all starts with the mind, because we all want to be happy.
Yeah.
And because you want to be happy, you're trying to like do something. So
yeah.
I even believe happiness is like a far-reach something which is unattainable.
All right. So I want to confess this. Talking about what people's influence on us. Okay. My uncle used to be one of the best triple jump like athletes. Back when he was in school, okay, he jumped for our SHS. No, he jumped for our JHS. Moved to Prempeh, jumped, and then went to training college, jumped. And people knew that he's my uncle, okay. And I did sports. I played volley, all those things. I was a goalkeeper, and then I was also a triple jumper, and then long. So anytime I'm going to, then they'll call my uncle's name. And all those times when I was thinking, my uncle jumped 12 point something, let me also jump, I could never hit 10.
So there was this kind of pressure on you that you had to hit it because your uncle was doing it.
Yeah, exactly. But the moment I said, whatever should happen, should happen. Because in one of our inter houses, we had the best from the school. Also competing. I said, even if the best is in the competition, what do I lose if I? Yeah. So I said, let me just go and jump. And I was the second. I jumped 11, and I had never jumped 10, even 10, and I jumped 11 point something.
Oh, but you did so well.
And I think if you don't so much buy into what people are saying, then you don't have
yeah, that is very true.
All right.
But have you ever felt like pressured from your family or from your parents to do something?
Oh, okay, yeah, especially when you are the firstborn.
Oh, you are the firstborn.
Everyone is looking up to you. And that time they'll not tell you, they'll not go straight. But if you look at some of the comments they pass in, you know that this bullet is coming at you. And a lot of times. And there are some that are genuine. You need to achieve this, whether you like it or not.
Yes.
But if the pressure comes in, you don't do it at the level where you are convenient with, or at the comfortable. You are pushed too much to the one. If you do not take it, you break.
True.
So there are lots, especially when you are a firstborn.
Of course.
Yeah. So I don't know if you have any other questions. So Priscilla, I hope we've answered your question, and Derek, hope she's answered your question about being having a social anxiety. All right, so you still tell me about it with Esi K, and today we're talking about anxiety. Okay, social anxiety. Okay, so Esi, what more should we learn from this whole thing?
So if you're answering the phone, or when you're eating or drinking in front of others, or when you're talking to someone you find attractive, or when you are in a situation you can't ignore, but then you find yourself not being able to like respond or react or do something or what you're supposed to do or what's expected of you, then I think you are supposed to probably look for ways for you to get this out of you, because everything starts from the thought.
Yeah.
So all this I'm trying to say, like baby brain and mechanic, I'm just trying to say that there are ways for you to like free yourself from social anxiety.
Yeah.
And I think we are going to talk about 6 ways to free ourselves from like social anxiety.
Oh, okay.
For this episode, yes.
Okay. All right.
So
all right.
First, I would say we should examine our evidence or thoughts.
Okay.
Like we said earlier on, the mind is like something. If we could even use like 15% of our brain, I wonder what would happen. So our mind starts, our thoughts, and then our mind process and everything starts. Is a beginning. Honestly, it's a beginning. So if you're able to process your thoughts well, and then you just say to yourself, like you're conscious, like these people are not probably even thinking about me. You're probably thinking of something else.
Yeah.
Like if you give yourself these positive thoughts and everything, you realize that you'd be able to pull through with the situation you least expected to pull through. So before you prepare to speak or something, you just give yourself the mind, like you prepare your mind and just tell yourself, these people are probably not focusing on me and they ain't gonna do anything or something. So you just prepare your mind, and then you just like, why worry? It may never happen, because you're just thinking, what if I fall down? Why worry? It may never happen. So you can just take that if out of it. Why worry? Instead of you using the word, if I do this, what if this? You just take the if out of it. Is why worry? It may not, it may never happen, because if you do not take the risks and all that, you wouldn't be able to move ahead and be where you probably want to be. So you just have to take the first step, and then you can move ahead from there. Yeah.
All right. And you know one thing, talking about speaking to someone you you interested in, or someone that you there's a confession live on radio. All right. So the first time when I met my wife, okay, by then we're in school on campus, and I had a thought of speaking to her, okay, and I was thinking, what if the answer is no? What if? And then I went back and said, no, look at her stature. she cannot beat me. And if she says no,
you ain't gonna die.
Life goes on.
Exactly.
So what?
I just wish I had like that mentality, because you realize that the word if really puts us like behind, and then we're not able to do one or two things. Like the word if.
Yeah.
What if then like what Adrian say, like
exactly.
But it may never happen. If we pick that one, it may never happen. I think we would probably be able to do a lot. So it all stands from like our mindset and our thought process. But you did well by like thinking positively immediately, because not everyone can do that.
All right. So I think it all has to do with the switch, how fast you can switch and adapt. Okay, like the sons of Issachar, they knew the times and the seasons. So just know the times and seasons to operate. If you go and hit at the wrong time, oh my God, the answers that will come. You would never like it. And so we're still talking anxiety, okay, social anxiety, and how to deal with those pressures, okay. So wherever you are, if you have any questions, just send it through, okay. You can contribute. If you're doing the listening on radio, you can share with us on WhatsApp 0543295571. Okay, Esi is here. She's ready to handle any question. Pressure. All right, so Esi, what more should we learn from this? And because this whole topic is so sensitive, and I can see myself right in there. Yeah, I see myself right in there.
Another way for you to deal with social anxiety, you can choose to do breathing exercises.
Okay.
I think I heard this from is it Jay Shetty? I don't know if you know him. Jay Shetty, he's a monk and all that. Yeah. So he was like, the mood we are in as humans changes with our breath. So if you are sad, your breath can determine, like the way someone breathes can tell that this person is very sad. The way the person breathes can tell that the person is happy. The way the person breathes can tell that like, hey, breathe. Can tell that the person is like nervous or something. So depending on your breath, like it just tells the whole mood and everything you're feeling.
Okay.
So you can do breathing exercises. If you find yourself like in a situation where you are so anxious,
Okay.
you can just breathe in like you can just choose to do these exercises probably every morning or before a show, before a program, before whatever it is that is making you anxious. If you're feeling anxious speaking to your friends, if you're feeling anxious speaking to like someone you like we just talked about earlier, if you feel anxious doing something, you can just decide to like breathe in and then out before you take the bold step of like doing it. Because basically the social anxiety we feel starts from like our thought process, like we said earlier on, and then our feeling. So it's one out of the feelings we have. So if we're able to breathe in and out and then like calm ourselves down, the nervousness will go away, and then so will the anxiety go away, and then you realize that our thought process changes from being pressured by society or the outside and then by everything, and then we start focusing on ourselves as humans.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. And talking about breathing, I know someone who cannot do that. When they say breathing, the person will be, and the person cannot do it. And I think it's a good exercise. Okay. And I was doing this short program on life coaching, and then they said one of the best ways to not ask the person any question when the person comes to you is by the way the person is breathing.
Yeah.
If you're able to connect that way, then you know where to channel your questions before you break the person totally. Yeah. So I think breathing is a very great exercise. And for those who don't know how to do it, I know you're doing the listening, but please learn. Okay, learn is important. So you can be a part of this program by sharing your comments, okay, via WhatsApp 0543829571. If you're watching on YouTube, PenyGH, kindly share in the comment section, okay. All right. Is there more we need to know?
Sure, you can decide to have a checklist. If you are a writer or you like writing, you can decide to have a checklist when you find yourself in a situation like this. So you can start by trying to figure out or identify what makes you feel the way you do or what makes you feel so anxious. And then why you react towards these social situations from time to time, like why you do those things, what you can use the 5 W's and then 1 H as to like the 5 W's and 1 H. By that I mean the who, the where, the when, the what, the how.
Okay.
You use these 5 W's, 1 H to figure out why the situation or what am I thinking at this moment. So the checklist could be, okay, I'm feeling anxious because I think this person will judge me.
Okay.
That, like we said earlier. So you just have a checklist and then you just say, okay, what if the person is not even thinking about me? So you add it there. So you have like so many lists and then you have like a counter. So it's like the negative and then the positive, and then you go with the positive and then you go with the flow.
Okay.
So because of the list you carry along, it helps you to calm down when you find yourself in such situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can also imagine, another way is you can imagine the worst scenario possible.
Okay.
So if you're going to sit in the car, there are chances of we dying in the car.
You trying to be like Father Bassi. He says, I like giving bad examples. So he said, I like you. Alex is saying, huh? Alex, you are scared of death. We are all scared though.
Yeah, but then like we are thinking of the worst scenario possible. And the worst scenario possible is death.
Yeah.
So if it's death, if I go and do this and I mess up, will I die? No, I wouldn't. So then just go and then like mess up, because if you don't make the mistakes, you'd never be able to do whatever you want to do. So the worst possible thing could be death. So
sure, it's
you can try
true.
it out.
Yeah, it's also true.
Like let's say you want to go do skydiving and then you think you're going to die and then and you still want to try it.
I think mostly is the expectations. Yeah, we over expect. Okay.
Sure.
That is why I don't like doing too much of this motivation. Motivational, because at the point they'll make you feel like a fool.
Yeah.
And you expect so much
From
and you'll be disappointed. And
I wish you could just mix like reality with the motivational messages and then
exactly.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I'm lazy. They told me, get up. Like 1 second, I'm all in. I'm going to get up. Like the second later, I'm like, okay, let's just go back to sleep.
Okay, I think that Richmond is saying that his proposal gone wrong is dead though. so when the proposal goes wrong, but Richmond, what can the person do? You cannot do anything about it. If there's nothing you can do about it, why worry?
Like it's not in your hands. You don't have the last say. Why worry?
All right. We're still talking about social anxiety. Keep your questions coming in. Keep your comments coming in. Okay. So Frank is here. Frank is saying that how can you breathe in and out when you have financial anxiety? It doesn't work. Frank is very, very true. It's very, very true. For the past few days, it's been difficult for me to breathe in and out. As I heard some of the person say, you are suffering from monelia. Oh my God. So Frank is saying that when you have financial anxiety, Charlie, the thing will not happen. Breathing in and out will not happen. Is this true?
Frank has to answer. But let me just get Frank. Let me become a motivational speaker this instant. You are thinking about the money. You are really thinking of it. So your thought process has not changed. So when you breathe in and out, it ain't gonna work for you. However, if you think of the fact that if you breathe in and out, the money or the financial problem, like it will still be there, but then you calm yourself down, like and not because I was hostile, but you are not dying, Frank. So at the end of it all,
life goes on. All right, so life goes on. So Frank, if you can't do the breathing in and out because of that thing, chill. Okay, switch your thoughts. Maybe find a scary movie. Okay, maybe the movie will scare you and
exactly. We can recommend movies for you if you want. Like
sure. All right, so we're still talking anxiety, okay, and pressure, social anxiety and pressure. What are your worst experiences? Do you have any worst experience?
I was about to ask you that. I was about to ask you, do you have any like worst experience with pressure or social anxiety?
Okay, one thing that comes to mind is when I was going to what is that thing? Vetting as a senior prophet. Okay, you read the letter you wrote, the application letter. When you face the panel, they'll give it to you. You read. That's where the whole thing starts from. Okay, and when I stood there, they did not ask anything, and there was one sportsman there, Omega asked me, when we went for it was inter-schools, and we did not select you in the first batch, you left the team, and that question shook me off, and so they told him it's not time, allow him to read his letter. And at that moment my hands were shaking, the letter folded, and I had to read everything from my mind. And I read everything from my mind, and they could see me shaking. They told me, do you care for water?
That's the best.
So that I never forget this thing. I never forget.
But do you realize that these social anxieties we have in the long run become like things we can really laugh about? Because
yeah.
At that particular moment, I don't think you were laughing the way you were laughing.
No. And when I came out, my housemaster came and said, "Oh, you did well. But the first 10 seconds could have been disastrous."
Whoa.
And I think I was the last person. Okay, so the questions were coming from left, right, and they knew that sports boys, Charlie, sports boy, yeah. And one funny thing is, I went in for entertainment prefect, and they swapped me with something else. And so some of the teachers this person wants to be entertained. Why do you push him? And
I think they did that. Mine was castle at school, high school. I went in for like presidency, and they were like, "You'll be so good at finance," and they just wanted me to like, I was like, for real.
So you see where the pressure comes in. Sometimes you don't welcome it. It comes. It's by default.
Sure.
Okay. So if you have any contribution, any questions, keep them coming. Okay. Richmond, proposal gone wrong is very serious. Sometimes you can get a heart attack when you get the response. And Frank, it's true. When you have financial issues, it can be disastrous.
It can mess you up. Like 1 second you realize that you feel like the world is like crumbling, and then
exactly
like you feel numbness and you don't even know what to do. You feel so anxious, like everything gets you angry. Like the behind with shit and whatever people the feeling is so something, you feel so lost, and then nothing at that moment someone says can really lift you up for the mood. But then immediately you get like a little bit like money or like a little bit to even support yourself, then the joy comes. So with the financial thing there, Charlie,
it will end. Joy comes in the money, you know. All right, so we're still here. Tell me about it with Esi K. We're talking about pressure and social anxiety, how to deal with them. Do you have any experience? Share with us. Do you have any questions? Share with us. Okay. So is there anything we have to also learn? Anything?
Yeah. Another thing we can do is remind ourselves. We should remind ourselves that it's not like the worst. So like when you keep on thinking this would happen or this would not happen, like you have to just remind yourself like this may not happen the same way I'm thinking it may happen. So like just balance your mental or your mind. And I suggest journaling, because for instance, I get anxious almost every now and then before I do something new, or not new per se, but before I do anything, I get anxious because one, I'm a last minute person. I always prepare late. So I'm always anxious as to what I would do or what I would say or what I would write or whatever I would do. So it's more like you just have to keep your thoughts or make your thoughts like, just like you're thinking of the negative aspect, you think of the positivity as well. But then if you think all these things we've talked about is still not going to help you, I suggest you speak to someone.
Okay.
I really wish I knew someone out there for you to just speak to, but then like I have no one.
No, we have some people who are ready to. So we have a number of priests and counselors that we can connect you to. If you have any issue that you really want to talk to someone about, not if you are suffering from money area, please. the priest needed the most. so if you have any issue and you need someone to talk to, kindly let us know. We will try and connect you. So
you can contact our socials or then we just
sure. All right. Is there any other?
I think we are basically done for the day, so we are just wrapping up.
Sure.
So with pressure, social anxiety linked, it all starts with us as individuals and how we think of what the world is or what the people around us should think about us. Because we are always not thinking of how well we want to do. We are always thinking of how well others will think of the things we are doing. Exactly. So it's like we are pleasing. We're trying to be people pleasers with social media and everything and all that. And then I see it like our end goal for success is happiness. But then I may be wrong, but then I think success, success is like subjective to me. Because what may be successful to me may not be the same as success to another person. But happiness, I also think, is not like the end goal, because no matter where you reach, you still need something else that you think would make you happy. So instead of you thinking of happiness like as a far-reach thing that you are going to like have to reach somewhere to get, you should rather be happy with the little things and then you have now, so that it doesn't cause pressure on you. And then with the social media pressure, because there are types of pressure, so to prevent peer pressure, you are supposed to look at yourself and know that you be comfortable with yourself, and then and then with social media pressure, they are just giving us the highlights of their life. They are not giving us the details of some of the things that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't really get focused on it, because to me social media ain't bad, but then we shouldn't make it bad ourselves. So yeah, so as individuals or as humans, as we look out for what others will think of us, we should rather think of what we think of ourselves and how we improve as individuals. Because if you love yourself and then you think you're improving as an individual, when someone loves you, you can really give back because you love yourself. But then you're just waiting for someone to care for you, and then a whole lot of like bunch of, I don't even know if I'm making sense. But like, yeah, basically.
You're making sense. You're making sense because I see it in lots of people. Okay, the moment they see that this person has posted a picture, they also want to at all costs get this dress and post that picture, stand by that car and post that picture. Okay, the moment they see, oh, you are following this person on LinkedIn, this person has switch job, and they are seeing some executive whatever, so we are pressured for nothing, and that times they post the opposites. Okay,
exactly.
I'll never pull my pocket out and take a picture and post on. I'll never do that. Okay, but when I get a new car, I'll just sit in front of the
of course,
with Alex somewhere at the corner, and then I'll take
a picture. Because no one would post something with their, like, I don't know, like you can't be indoor and then you just take a picture with you like facade like that. But when you realize that when you go out and then you stand somewhere, you do something like those poses, and then you just post those one. And there are some who even take like 2,000 pictures, and then they just select like the two nicest one with like so.
All right, so I think there's a question here from Richmond. Richmond is saying, please clarify, are we nervous because of people's thoughts? Are we nervous because of people's thoughts?
Nervous. He used the word nervous.
Yeah, nervous. Yeah.
Nervousness is different from feeling anxious, like we said.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would be nervous because of what someone thinks of me, but I become anxious because I'm anticipating what the person is thinking of me. Nervousness is like something I feel immediately I have to do, like something, and I'm feeling all shaking and all that. But then anxiousness is when I think too deep into the whole situation of what others think of me. So there's a thin line between nervousness and then feeling anxious.
All right. Yes. So I think your thoughts rather should make you nervous. Your thoughts rather should make you nervous.
Exactly.
So Richmond, I think. Okay, so Richmond is saying sorry, anxious. All right, so I think we handle it both ways. So. All right, so I think this is where we want to bring it all to one. Did you have anything for your Korean community before they beat you out? All right, so I think you need to work on something for them. Yeah. Okay, so we want to say, so Richmond is saying thanks. So we want to say a very big thank you to all of you who shared your comments with us. Those who could not share your comment, but you still joined in. We want to say a very big thank you and God bless you. Let me see if we have any comment on WhatsApp. So far no. All right, so I think that is where we end it all. Okay, well, let's meet same time next week on Tell Me About It with Esi K. So next week we also discussing something very interesting, as you know already. This show has never been a boring one. All right, so today we spoke about anxiety and pressure. All right, so we still have the Peny radio t-shirt, okay, going out for 35 cedis. Okay, when you get a t-shirt, you get a free nose mask. Okay, a free nose mask. Okay,
I guess I should wear my nose mask for those of you with watching from YouTube.
Yeah.
This is how it looks like.
All right.
Wait, how am I putting on my?
So I think your microphone is even covering it for. Yeah. No, put it on.
I should put it on.
Yeah.
I couldn't even use mine.
No.
Because of the
whole. Yeah, because of the headset.
Yeah.
Or you want to put it on the headset? That'd be nice too.
That would be like impossible.
All right. So we have them in stock. Okay, a cool 35 cedis you get for yourself, a nose mask and a t-shirt. Okay, a neatly branded Peny Radio t-shirt and nose masks. Okay, so we want to say a very big thank you. God bless you. And Richmond is saying, please, is you're asking if delivery is free. Richmond, let's know where you are and see how best we can help. Let's know where you are and see how best we can help. Okay. All right. So we want to say a very big thank you. God bless you to tuning in. Don't forget, today we bringing you the prayers. Okay, we bring you intercessory prayers, and our brother Mr. Najaman is leading us. Mr. Ajaman Glenn is leading us. So don't you go away. Have a wonderful weekend. And the weekend has started already. So have a wonderful weekend. Let's meet again. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, do share, okay? You can follow us on Facebook, PenyGH. On YouTube is PenyGH. On Instagram and Twitter is PenyGH_. Okay.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, so God bless you. Thank you.
Oh, you can follow Dominic's personal social media handle. What is your personal social?
Mine is Dominic Asuma.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so you can as well follow Esi. Just she's the only Esi K in the world. So just search Esi K and yeah, okay, or adek101.com. All right, so we say we call it a bye for now. Okay, so God bless you. Let's meet again same time next week. Bye bye.
Peny Radio.
Let's have another free weekend. Which one? You just saw it.
Yeah.
Take it off.